Next instalment is looking at miracles and the general broader thing of God intervening in the world. Now, miracles aren't really optional extras to Christianity. Indeed, Christianity is really founded on the miracles, which are in the belief that God became human, so the kind of incarnation, and that he has power over death, shown in the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Now, scientific laws can be looked on as reflecting the orderly and regular ways that God works, the customs of God. However, if God wishes to act differently for a particular purpose and perform a miracle, Christians believe that he's free to do things differently. So, when we're talking about a miracle, we mean something that is out of the ordinary and catches the attention, something intended by God as a sign of his love and or power, a marvellous event which can't have been brought about by humans or by nature, and so is said to be performed by God, and something that usually shows control over these laws of nature, such as a dead person being brought back to life. So key words. When we talk about laws of nature, we're talking about scientific generalisations arrived at by experimentation or observation which try to explain how nature works, or how scientists at least expect nature to work. When we talk about miracles, we're talking about marvellous events which can't have been brought about by humans or by natural means. It's one of the interesting cases when we talk about Lourdes. Many people have said to have recovered from illness after visiting Lourdes in France, where in 1858 Bernadette Soubirious had visions of the Virgin Mary. Many Christians go on pilgrimages to places such as Lourdes in the hope of physical and or spiritual healing. It's not the only way that you can necessarily say that God intervenes in the world. God coming to earth as Jesus of Nazareth, both fully human and fully divine, is seen as one of the greatest miracles, as is, ultimately, Jesus' resurrection from the dead after his crucifixion. So, if we're talking about miracles, those things done by divine power, apart from the order usually followed by things, that's a quote from Thomas Aquinas. So, these things can include God doing the things that nature cannot do, so if God decided to stop the sun in the sky, or those acts that God does that nature could do, but not in the same order, so someone recovering from a terminal illness. Those things done by God that nature could do, but that God does without using the forces of nature, so someone who quickly recovers from an illness after people have been praying for them. You've got Jesus performing quite a few different kinds of miracles. Healing miracles, like the healing of the paralysed man. Nature miracles, classic, Jesus calming the storm. Exorcisms, so kind of ridding people of evil spirits, such as the healing of Legion. You can find that in one of the early chapters of Mark. And another one, raising people from the dead, as he does with Lazarus. So, many miracles are also seen as the work of the Holy Spirit. The first miracle of the Holy Spirit was at Pentecost, when the disciples were filled with the power of the Holy Spirit and began speaking in tongues or other languages. Now, some Christians have argued that it doesn't actually matter whether the miracles in the New Testament really happened or not, but what actually for them is important is the spiritual message about God's love for humanity, which lies behind these miracles. If you want to biblical quotes to kind of back this up, you've got Acts 1, chapter 1, verses 1 to 11, where Jesus ascends into heaven, and the start of Acts 2, again, verses 1 to 11, that is the coming of the Holy Spirit of Pentecost. Thanks.